was stupid cool. I keep a stick, but I ain't playing pool. I'm off a perk, fucking up my mood. We selling hunch, you know we go cool. We autumn, baby, you know how we bull. I just want the money, I don't fuck with school. Fucking on your bitch, know how we do. And I'm sliding in that all black cool. Yeah, kid shit tight, Quando. Nah, know me, Rondo. And I fuck this bitch up in the condo. 30 on me, let it blow. And my bitch from Mexico. I've been getting fed, bro. Chopper came with machetes, bro. And your pockets petty, bro. Can't kick the color RP Fredo. I know they watching, so I gotta stay low. I'm high as fuck, I'm tryna get low. If we was cool, we ain't cool no more. Cause I gotta fuck and your pockets petty, bro. Can't kick the color RP Fredo. I know they watching, so I gotta stay low. I'm high as fuck, I'm tryna get low. If we was cool, we ain't cool no more. Cause I gotta fuck and your pockets petty, bro. Can't kick the color RP Fredo. I know they watching, so I gotta stay low. I'm high as fuck, I'm tryna get low. If we was cool, we ain't cool no more. Cause I gotta fuck and your pockets petty, bro.
Exposed piece for like guitarists, like small. I think this guy's like much smaller than Rick Beato is. Like I don't know if he like has to. Like, and keep in mind, like I'm sorry, a lot of YouTube commenters and chatters they're shitters, bro. They're shitters. Like you don't need like I get some of the stupidest fucking comments, and I just like every time I'm like think about saying something or like citing it, I'm just like, oh wait, never mind. These people are retards. You know what I mean? And it's not that all commenters are retards, but I'd say like maybe like 50% of them are either retards or someone just trying to say something. They're either trying to say something or they're retarded or they have like something wrong with them.
And how people like him are ripping off similar artists. Why aren't you exposing Giacomo Turra for faking and stealing all his play? I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the...
Does he have history with him? Hold on. Rick Beato. He must have history for him for people to be saying that. Guitar World. The hardest video I've had to make. What is it?
Music's always been incredibly important.
Okay, this is dedicated. Why does it even come up? Like, does he even have like history with him? Does anybody know about this? Can't wait till someone gets sued over this. Well, who would get sued over this? Him? Not Rick. I feel like if anyone's getting sued, it's gonna be Giacomo Turra.
Giacomo Turra theft scandal. Yeah, we're still waiting for your Giacomo Turra post. I'm curious on Rick Beato's thoughts about Giacomo Turra cloning.
Something about old people. They just don't get that a lot of people that make YouTube comments are stupid. Maybe they're like too respectful of like every person or something. I don't know.
Other people's solos, not crediting the originator as if they are his own. When are you going to talk about Giacomo Turra? No comment on the Giacomo Turra saga. So Giacomo Turra...
He explains that at the beginning he had him in the studio to make a video but didn't air it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Is there history before this? Because what obligation does he have to talk about this? You know? That's what I'm saying. Like, why are people like pressuring him to talk about it? I feel like that guy got exposed pretty hard already. I don't know if there's really much to, you know, like I feel like that guy got his life ruined already. I mean, deservedly so. I mean, the guy like he had like a signature guitar. You know, they got rid of that. I don't think I don't know if he's gonna be playing shows anymore. I don't know what he's gonna be doing.
I had in my studio a few months ago. I had him on because in his Instagram videos, he presents himself as a great player. This is before I figured out from Danny Sapko's video that he had stolen other people's, some friends of mine's music. When Giacomo came in here, he was coming...
One thing that is funny about this, hold on. It's impressive to me that he's stealing from videos with 57 views. You know, like how many of those views were his? right? Because like in order to learn these solos or copy these solos, maybe he just downloaded the videos and played them one time, like played the video one time and then downloaded it. But I feel like a majority, if not a majority of these views had to have been him, right? Oh, let me make this a little smaller. Sorry. Okay.
Of mine, music. When Giacomo came in here, he was coming through town, and when he came in here and played, I realized that he couldn't play well enough to put the video out. And then I was like, oh, well, obviously all his videos were fake, but I knew that they were all play-alongs. I mean, you don't do those kind of things. As Danny, he talked about the
How bad could it be? You know what I mean? They couldn't work along with something there. Couldn't be that bad.
whammy bar fakery that's in there and stuff like that.
Nice whammy bar action here.
That's not an uncommon thing. I just watched Adam Neely's fantastic video where he talks about the history of people faking or doing play-alongs. This has been going on since the beginning of time. And I'm going to give you a great example of someone that can play that obviously was faking along. This is Wes Montgomery from a television show right near the time of his death. Now, his guitar is not plugged in. He's playing in front of an audience, and he's playing the take of...
So one thing I don't get about this, okay, first of all, why are we bringing Wes into this? Secondly, it's kind of a weird comparison because this is back in 1967, I think was the age or the year it just showed. So, totally different time period. I feel like it's more excusable here because the technology didn't really allow for it very well at the time. So I don't really understand bringing this in here. Like I feel like he's like kind of giving the guy a little bit of defense when he shouldn't. Because I mean Wes kind of has an excuse. The other guy not as much. And miming a guitar is not like the biggest deal at the end of the day. It's kind of just something funny. It's not really like a huge deal. Like I don't think your career should be ruined over it. But stealing for sure.
The song Windy off his record. He's faking along with it. And as you can see, it's not perfectly tight with it. And the audio then fades. And the audience claps. Why did Wes do this? Because he's trying to promote his record. Here's a great example of Wes.
Or maybe the technology at the time. I think that's probably a better explanation. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes Beato has like some stupid fucking things he says. Technology didn't allow it back then. It's not up to the par. Like, okay. So yeah, he could have plugged in an amp or something, but okay, wait, hold on. Is there another reason why he wouldn't be able to do this? He's just doing this for no reason then? I mean, it's 1967. I'm assuming he could plug into an amp, but it's different because it's on TV, So I don't know. I feel like they would have a hard time getting a good recording. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, maybe it's possible. I don't know. I don't know exactly what was possible in the 60s. I just feel like it wouldn't be as easy as it is nowadays, Like maybe they could have plugged it into an amp and then mic the amp or something. I don't know, but this is for TV. You got to keep in mind. He's saying people fake it in TV. Not always, though. Do they? I don't know. I mean, I don't watch a lot of that stuff these days. I'll see it on the news sometimes. 100% Harder. Did the Beatles mime all the performances from back then? I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on that. Maybe he'll talk. Why don't he talk about that? Maybe he was just like, oh, I can't mention the Beatles again for the 50 millionth time on my channel.
Why did Wes do this? Because he's trying to promote his record. Here's a great example of Wes improvising live from Europe in 19...
It seems like he played decently, though, right? I mean, hold on. I mean, because you're saying towards the end, maybe he couldn't play as well anymore. I mean, like, if you look at it, it looks like he's hitting, like, almost every note.
And he's playing the take of the song Windy off his record. He's faking along with it. And as you can see, it's not perfectly tight with it. And the audio then fades. And the audience claps.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like he probably could have played it. I don't know.
Wes do this? Because he's trying to promote his record. Here's a great example of Wes improvising live.
He's not playing. I mean, you don't think he's playing at all? Looks like he's strumming with his thumb and he's moving along to the frets. I don't know, bro.
Why did Wes do this? Because he's trying to promote his record. Here's a great example of Wes improvising live from Europe in 1965.
He's not playing. What? He's saying it's okay sometimes. No, I got that. I feel like a better argument for this though would have been like, you know, it's kind of become normalized on Instagram at this point. He's not playing. Bro, I'm not saying he's fucking okay. I'm a little concerned about your guys' like capacity to think here. Yeah, it's not plugged in. I'm saying he's like actually playing it. Like he's playing it, but you can't hear it. Obviously, this is different here.
There's so many videos out there of people making fun of the fact that they had to mime on TV shows. Nirvana, the Mamas and the Papas, there's so many of them. I'm not even going to bother to show them here. This has been going on forever. So getting back to the Giacomo scandal. Giacomo made an apology video that I wouldn't say really addressed the issues of stealing people's music. That was really the egregious thing here. The faking, okay, that's one thing, but the stealing other people's music is...
I feel like he like didn't really like get into like the history well enough. Like the only reason I know about this very much, he's not playing, bro. Yeah, no one's saying he is playing. I'm saying like he's like fucking, he's probably making some sort of noise is what I'm saying, but you can't hear it, okay?
Is completely not cool. And the apology...
Like for instance, if I was over there making noise on my guitar, but it wasn't mic'd up, that doesn't mean I'm not playing. I'm saying like you're still playing, unless he's like just pretending to play and he's not even like moving. He is moving his thumb and hitting the strings though.
He appeared on YouTube, which isn't really the platform that he's...
Like there's a difference between playing and then being mic'd or like being plugged in.
known for. It's really Instagram.
Like it would actually be harder to like pretend to play than to like play something and then not be mic'd, you know, and try to make it look real. If he's not being amplified, how are we sure he even wrote the music?
And the apology video should have come on Instagram. I don't want to...
I think there's a difference between being played and it being live and like read the actual audio.
Pile on here any more than anyone else has. There have been many videos made over the last few weeks by all the guitar channels. People are like, when are you going to say something about this, Rick? Okay, I'm saying it. I do.
You know what'd be funny? People should like, I feel like people should, with every single controversy from now on, just go into his comments and be like, when are you going to say something about this, Rick? Just to see if he will like take the bait. Because I feel like you could probably get him to talk about anything, any like sort of small dumb shit.
Didn't post the video because Giacomo couldn't play well enough to be on my channel. I have standards. Some of you may not like some of the people that I've had on here, but I respect the musicians that I've had on, even if it's not of your taste. And when somebody comes in here and they can't play their own songs, or they can't even play stuff that they've stolen from other people, although I think the thing that he played here was, maybe it was his own tune, I don't know. Of all the takes that I've seen, Adam Neely's video entitled The Ethics of Fake Guitar is by far the best one. It's 52 minutes, and I would encourage you to watch the entire thing. It's just so...
No. I don't know, like, maybe this might be interesting. This sounds like an interesting Adam Neely video, but I feel like a lot of his videos, they put me to sleep, bro. I can't.
Well thought out, beautiful essay on it. And it walks you through the history of people faking. And his conclusion is...
So whether or not you personally think that this stuff is deceptive and should be called out, it really doesn't matter, because the vast majority of audiences simply do not care.
If you're watching a Super Bowl performance, it's already pre-recorded. Pretty much anything that you see in a football stadium is pre-recorded. How do I know? Because I know the people that mix these things. So many things that you see regularly.
A little subtle flex there.
the Star Spangled Banner, whatever. They're always faked. The same goes for backing tracks. People play with backing tracks all the time, and people don't care. Matter of fact, I've
But see, that's not the same though.
made backing tracks for people, and I go see them play, having made the backing tracks for people that I produce, and I know they're there, and I don't even think about it. Never even enters my mind that, oh, they're playing with a backing track. I just enjoy.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't really like that comparison. Like it's like I can't really think of a good like metaphor, but it's just not the exact same thing. You know, it's
Enjoy
I
the
don't know.
performance or I hate the performance. And one of the things that I don't like is when
Like the whole thing with like backing tracks is it's like, well, yeah, you're using that because, you know, like for instance, if there's harmonies there, you can't yourself sing the harmony and the regular vocal at the same time. But if it's like, you know, or if it's just like to help you remember the lyrics or something, it's like real quiet. Like it's much different than like completely replacing it. You know, it's like it's the difference between like having some assistance versus completely faking it. That's such like it's not even like a good comparison in my opinion. Yeah, it's not. He's not saying it's the same, but I feel like you shouldn't even bring it up. You know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know.
everything is done from a laptop, including the whole light show, I understand the logistics of it.
Yeah, this is kind of weird. One thing that is weird about this is like I feel like he's almost kind of defending the guy because like instead of really calling out a lot of the theft, like which he did for like 10 seconds, he's kind of just like backing up the whole like it's okay to fake shit point. You know, he's putting a lot into that. Like I would say like 5 to 6 minutes of this video is about that, which is like that's not even the important part at all. I feel like no one is really thinking that's much of the important part.
The expense of it and everything. But
Like it would have made sorry pause again. It would have made more sense to make this video something about like miming, like guitar miming, as opposed to, you know, the Giacomo Tura thing.
if you can't change the show from night to night, like throw in a new song here, extend a song, extend a jam for 10 minutes, then to me, that's not really interesting. When I go see something, I want to know that it's special on that night and it's never been done that way before. Now, do I like when people fake on Instagram? Of course not. But there's a real social pressure, at least from these particular musicians that do it. They feel that pressure that they need to have everything perfect on it. When, to me,
Well, supposedly, I mean, I heard this from Tony earlier, so I'm not sure exactly how true it is. This is a funny face, but supposedly Adam Neely put on Rick Beato, so there's probably like a huge overlap in audience if I had to guess.
having everything perfect actually sounds incredibly boring. Now, some people have asked me, you think he can ever come back from this, Giacomo? Well, yeah, why not? If I were
Wait, what did he say? He said he can come back from this?
having everything perfect actually sounds incredibly boring. Now, some people have asked me, you think he can ever come back from this, Giacomo? Well, yeah, why not? If I were him, I'd go on Instagram and say, listen, totally screwed up. I've learned my lesson. I won't do it again. And come out with some great music and great playing. Everybody likes a great redemption story.
So, I do agree. Like, I personally wouldn't want to see that guy get a redemption arc because, like, it's one thing if he stole a couple things, but bro, to steal like hundreds and hundreds of things and pretend like they're your own, like that's like such like a deep level of like deception. You know, it's kind of hard to come back from that. Like, one, people are constantly gonna be like memeing on you for like the rest of your life about it. Secondly, people are gonna like be like mistrustful about like whether or not what you're creating is real or like yours. And I don't know, bro. It's just it just puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth, you know? Like it's just I don't know. Like it is possible. Like if you just totally ate the shit and then like apologized and then just was willing to like get criticized and shit on in the comments from now on and then, you know, put out his own music. Yeah, he could have some sort of career, you know? I do agree Rick Beato is underhated. Like this is just another instance of him like softballing something that should have been like a fucking fastball. You know what I mean? There should have been or a beam. There should have been a straight up beam. Like he should have beamed the batter instead of fucking like throwing like a fucking what do you call it? Like a fucking, he threw up like a fucking like an underhanded thing, like just he did like a softball. Like this is some bullshit, dude.
Love to know your thoughts. Hit subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.
Well, a lot of things are built on theft or like you know, referencing other things, but I think people have a different they have a different perception of that versus like creatives, you know. Whereas with creatives, it's like when the entire thing you do is like based on theft, and like they like you for what they thought was yours originally but isn't. You know, it kind of just like pokes like a bajillion holes into whatever you're doing. I don't know. So that was that. For people saying, okay, let's read some of these comments here. That's not, I don't know, bro. I do not like Rick very much. Like I like some things about him, but I also think like in this situation here, he should have been much harder on this guy, you know? And like being a nearly 5 million subscriber channel, it's not a good look. It's a really bad look. It really seems like he's trying to give him an easy way out or something, you know? And I'm not saying he should be like, hey, Giacomo, kill yourself or anything like that, but he should have focused more on like the things that he was criticized for, you know? For people saying that I didn't focus enough on him stealing other people's music, I have Danny's original video in the description which outlines it very succinctly. No need to redo that video. Yeah, but bro, like the thing is, majority of people aren't even gonna watch that, you know? And it's just like, I don't, bro, like you like barely mentioned it, man. And I just feel like his audience is like so fucking ready to eat this shit, dude. You're the man, Rick. Handled it beautifully. It's really fake. He did say he wasn't good enough for any real player. That's a major diss, I guess. I don't know, bro. Like, because he, like I'm saying, like he just focused on the faking shit. He didn't focus on the theft, you know? Like just mentioning it really quickly is not much. His audience is chat GPT level glaze. Let's see. Yeah, most people are just like saying like he couldn't play well enough to be in my channel. Like what a diss, man, you know? I don't know. Yeah, it's like all yes men. It's like a lot of these people can't think for themselves, it seems like. What is your take on Freak Show Industries plugins? Love them. Freaky. Freaky as hell. I love them. Let's see. Yeah, it's all people just being like, couldn't play well enough to be on my channel. I don't know, bro. Okay, bro, this guy can't be serious. Wes mimed his own performance to promote himself. Giacomo mimed someone else's music to promote himself. End of story. My brother in Christ. That's gotta be bait. That's gotta be bait. Let's see. Am I crazy? Am I taking that the wrong way? Bro, there's not even, is there anyone even pushing back against this? Or like, bro, what the fuck, dude? This is like dead internet theory. His channel's like dead internet theory to me. He also sold the tabs of stolen material too. That was another thing too. Bro, his channel is dead internet theory. This is crazy to me. Okay, moving on. Yeah, Danny supposed to be okay, moving on. Okay. Alright, make sure to hit the like button if you guys have not. Subscribe if you're new here. We're gonna continue on here momentarily. If you want to take that support a bit further, consider donating via the Stream Elements link in the description. All support is appreciated. I'm gonna be doing some extra streams because I'm trying to make some extra money because I owe the tax man a lot of money. So we're gonna be putting in some extra time streaming in the near future. All support is appreciated. All right. Okay, moving on here. Probably deletes most negative comments in there. I doubt it. Just because, like, he's too... When you're that big of a channel, like, it's kind of hard to really navigate it that well. I mean, if you do, it's a lot of... it's a lot to deal with mentally. You want to hear me review what? Okay, this looks interesting. The Nintendo 3DS is a music production powerhouse. Okay. I don't know. I'm a little sus about this. Okay, wait, hold on. Bro, does he have... In the thumbnail, he has a Nintendo DS is greater than the Electron. Bro. Alright, he's got me on the hook here, dude. That's the level of bait. I cannot. Yeah, I need to pull like an insurance scam or something. Or like fucking
I'd like
tax
to
fraud
start
or
this
something.
video with a confession.
Okay. Very strange here. Very strange. I don't know. He's like pretending his arm is a mic stand.
I am a gamer.
Fuck this video. Okay, hold on. Let me try it at least.
Yeah, I've tried to hide it for a long time, but it turns out that I just cannot stop stomping Coopers, slaying Moblins, doing whatever this is. The only reason I even own a Minilog anymore is just so I can play the Brick Breaker game. Essentially, this is becoming a problem, and at this point I am now on such thin spiritual ice that, like many of us really, I am only now 1 or 2 bad decisions away from becoming a gaming YouTuber. Now,
So, he has no flavor. Okay, hold on a second. I feel like the whole, like, playing music on a gaming device thing, I feel like people force themselves to do it, bro. It's, like, such a terrible workflow. You know, it's such an awful workflow. Like, I downloaded the Korg, the Korg one. I downloaded it for my Switch. I haven't opened it since, because there's no way, dude. There's no way. It just seems so unfun to work that way.
obviously that is the worst case scenario for a human life, and it needs avoiding. So the question then becomes, well, is there a way for me to wean myself away from the abyss of gaming into the other abyss of music production and synthesizer videos? Well, yeah, I think there might be a way actually, and I think it might have to do with the device that you are looking at right now.
Like, I understand he's getting a good recording doing this, but God, it looks so funny, dude, holding your mic like this. Can you imagine if I constantly held my mic like this? Just like for the entirety of like well, obviously this isn't a 6-hour stream he's doing, but imagine I'm doing a 6-hour stream and I'm just gonna do this for the whole 6-hour stream.
Now.
Like, I understand like the challenge of like wanting to make music on random things, but like that actually work that way is insane to me.
The Nintendo 3DS. Hey, that was cool, wasn't it? You like that one? Now, ever since I got this thing, coming up to 14 years ago now, I've put in some frankly embarrassing gamer shifts. We've got your Marios, we've got your Animal Crossings. Oh my goodness, have you got your Pokemon? That is a travesty right there. 300.
Dude, 525 hours on Pokemon? That's insane, dude. That's insane. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just unfortunate.
Right there. 360 actual hours of human life spent on the...
Like, Pokemon, the gameplay of Pokemon is like fucking... In 2025, it's terrible. It's just aged so poorly, in my opinion. It's bad. It's really bad. It's just so boring. It's literally just like... It's like playing fucking Dungeons and Dragons or something, you know? And like, don't get me wrong, if you want to do that, it's fine, but I just don't get how people do it.
Internet browser. Amongst all of this, 2 hours. 2 hours in 14 years on Nintendo 3DS Sound.
That's the proper way to do it. Even that's too much, in my opinion.
Just one final comparison. I spent 10 times that much on the...
No, yeah, 360 hours in the Nintendo browser. Bro's a gooner. He's a gooner for sure. There's no other way to... Come on, what are you doing for 360 hours in the browser, sir? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What would you be doing on a browser for 360 hours? Can't think of much. Maybe looking up strategy guides, looking up talking to your friends on AOL. How's D&D the same as Pokemon? I'm saying it's just like a text thing. It's almost like purely text. Like it's like, okay, pick action, select action, thing happens, select action, thing happens. It's just boring is my point, you know?
The friend list, and I can guarantee you it wasn't overflowing. There was not 20 hours of content there. Now, with all this being said, I feel like we've underutilized the Nintendo 3DS Sound app, and it's about time to see whether it can hold up to some actual music production. So let's crack it open. Now, one of the first things I noticed is that I really did make the most out of my 2 hours spent on this app. Here's a message
Never
that
used
I
this
or
before.
some demon apparently left in 2013. Probably should have been in bed, but go off. Now, given that we're ideally meant to be producing music using this thing in a minute, there's a pretty big question that needs answering in terms of how good actually is the Nintendo 3DS microphone quality.
The touch it downs is crazy, dude. Come on, guys. That's hilarious, but terrible. Come on.
Well, to be honest, it's pure dookie. There's no other way of describing it. It sounds like trash. And anyway, you can only even record for up to, I think, 10 seconds.
But nonetheless, you get some kind of fun sound manipulation facilities. You get this one, a bit like a Chaos Oscillator, where you can adjust the speed and the pitch.
Well,
To be honest, it's still DT. There's no way of describing it. It's really slow.
You can reverse audio. You get harmonizers.
dookie.
He is not convincing me that this is a music production powerhouse at all.
Still DT.
You get some pretty basic.
Reverb, distortion.
You get my personal favourites, the buzzer, trumpet, and whistle. Basically, it's an absolute feast of auditory fun. And 3 minutes into the video, I am happy to report that I have found the first cool thing about this, which is that you can actually stack these effects indefinitely. It might not seem that way at first, but every effect that I've shown you up to this point, you can actually bake into the file permanently, essentially destructive editing. And you can do this over and over and over. And that's how I can take a file like this
Reverb, distortion, robot. I quite like the robot.
and destructively edit it for 5 minutes straight and turn it into this.
That's kind of epic, actually.
And then this. And then also this. I mean, this is just a waveform at this point, and that's handy because what we're now going to do is just record yourself doing that for like half an hour straight, at which point you then end up with loads of material to take into Ableton and go to Sound Design City. Population, you, and me. Now, one of the favourite pastimes of us Sound Design City slickers is just the old bread and butter, really. You comb through the big
Bro, I don't care how perfect my audio would be if I was doing this. It looks fucking stupid, and I don't care how good it sounds, alright? It looks way stupider than how much better it sounds, and I don't want to... I'm not doing that, okay? I would rather take the shitty audio than to have to do this. Okay.
massive audio in front
Back to the luxury here of a mic stand.
of you. There's lots to choose from, and you just clip out some little snippet that you think might make a good drum sound. And often, if you just mess about very slightly with the pitch, maybe the gain or the envelope, you tend to get there. You get some sounds like this, or even this. But for some things, especially kicks, they might need a little more TLC, and in cases like this, you might even need to crack open the Ableton sampler and get your hands dirty with the pitch envelope, filter envelope.
It seems... Okay, wait. For a music production powerhouse, it seems like we're, you know, relying a lot on something else here.
Just, tweak those until you get something that sounds right. A bit of saturation and some EQ later, and you've got something that sounds... fine. It's okay.
Music production powerhouse, by the way, guys.
You'll remember that sound from a bit ago that was essentially just a waveform as it was within the 3DS. At least I hope you remember it. It was just a few seconds ago. Well, you throw that in the sampler, and with the tiniest bit of looping, you now have the easiest analog synth ever made. And Well, you can just treat it the way you would any kind of analog synth. You get sounds like this, or this, or this. But that's not all we can do for tonal sounds. Oh no. The streets of Sound Design City are littered with possibilities and crime, but mostly possibilities.
Yeah, the problem with like a 3DS for this is it's like in that middle ground, whereas like a Switch is like quite a bit more advanced, and then like a Game Boy, like, you know, maybe it could be like, you know, it could be a tracker and it's utilizing like basic waveforms. I feel like the 3DS is in like this middle ground where it's not super advanced.
For instance, this unassuming little block of audio. That sounds to me like with a little bit of looping, maybe some massaging in the modulation / envelope department. You got a pad there. Nice. Or how about this little block of sound? It's a tad noisy, but there's some interesting movement going on there. So we could chuck a bandpass filter on it. Use that to root out a little pitch in the middle. There we go, it's a tonal sound now. A whole lot of tweaking later, and we have this pad.
Okay, that one kind of sounds like dog shit.
Actually, that one's not all that great, is it? Sorry about
Yeah.
that. But we do have enough elements for a little electronic 3DS ditty that sounds a little something like this.
It's kind of a vibe.
So wild news, but turns out that with a modern DAW you can turn pretty much anything into electronica, and it feels pretty surreal knowing that I'm the first ever person to discover this. But what I want to try now is a more transparent approach. What would happen if I played it relatively straight and just used the 3DS as a microphone to record music? Well, the biggest issue is going to be that 10-second limit, but I suppose worst case scenario I could just record in fragments and stitch things together. Although come to
Yeah, I'm not hating this. Definitely clickbait AF though, but whatever.
think of it, I will probably want to do some double tracking, so that's going to be a bit of a nightmare for timing and production. But I am very, very dedicated to my YouTube.
Bro, this is like a fucking what do you call it? You know, one of those like, you know when they have like a camera and they're like interviewing somebody who's like committed like a horrible crime or something? That's what this looks like right here.
Craft. Wait, hang on. Have I been recording this section on the 3DS camera this whole time? Yeah, it turns out that the 3DS can record video, and video, as is commonplace really, tends to include sound. What that means is that I can just record each part as a video using the 3DS. And
Yeah, interrogation.
I can then grab those video files off the SD card, take the audio off, and just produce it as I would any other track. Let's try it.
Live from the interrogation room, we have Little Downs. Give it up for Little Downs.
Sorry, do I need to go have a lie down, or does the 3DS in this circumstance sound kind of good? Like, it's very noisy, but that noise, along with the very low fidelity,
I don't know about it sounding. I mean, it's fine. It's just fine, I feel like. What do you guys think? I mean, I think it's just fine. Like, I don't know. It's not like amazing or anything.
Sorry, do I need to go have a lie down, or does the 3DS in this
I think you have a
circumstance
lie down.
that sound kind of good. Like, it's very noisy, but that noise, along with the very low fidelity across the board, gives it almost a cassette tape-like sound, despite the fact it is very much not analog. Now, every part of every song we've made so far, be it the guitar track or the electronica before that, so far all of it has passed through this humble, crusty little microphone on the front.
Well, I guess it's actually like, I mean, it's kind of good actually, considering it's using that shitty mic. If you take that into consideration.
The 3DS, and it's got some great mojo. I'm a big fan, but is there a way of circumventing that? Is there a way to do effects processing on the 3DS without having to kind of colour the sound so heavily right off the bat? After all, half the fun in something like a Monotron is the fact that you can just plug in a cable and process anything straight away. Can the 3DS do that? And I can then grab those video files off the SD card, SD card. The 3DS supports SD cards up to 32 gigabytes, making it 32 times as good as the original Digitact. All you need is a folder full of MP3s somewhere on your card, and when you open up the Sound app, wait, there we go, you'll be able to listen to music. Now, obviously the quality coming in is going to be much higher since you're skipping the microphone, but you do lose a few capabilities working in this way. There's no reversing, you get fewer effects, and you can't stack them on top of each other, but you do get the 8-bit game sound effect. You also get a selection of cute little visualizers, and look, they're 3D! You can use the shoulder buttons to add some drum samples. And the Chaos Pad function is back, and it's actually way more fun here using this on full tracks or drum breaks, instead of 10-second recorded snippets like earlier on. I will say that, for me, this area of the Sound app...
No, I mean, like, this is a pretty fun little video. I don't think he's, like, advocating for... I mean, at least in the video, he doesn't seem to be advocating for actually, like, replacing, like, your Electron with this or something. Although in the thumbnail, he does seem to be. It's probably, like, satirical, if I had to guess, or, like, he's doing it in jest.
Isn't quite as interesting as the sampling bit that we discussed earlier. Like, that mod matrix is pretty handy, there's room for cool things there, and maybe you could do some nice experiments with that 8-bit effect. It's not impossible, but for me, I'm really missing the stackability of those effects. It's a fun little MP3 player though, and if I'd have known about it when I was 11, you can bet that I'd have been absolutely throwing down Hot Fuss and Demon Days through that radio effect. It would have been awesome. Regardless though, that is pretty much the
Demon Days, space.
3DS and its musical capabilities. And I've got to be honest, when I started this video, I was not expecting it to be anywhere near as fun or surprisingly capable as it ended up being. So yeah, if you've got a 3DS lying around, there's worse ways to spend your time than seeing what kind of music you can get out of. It's pretty fun. As a way of bringing everything full circle, my playtime on the 3DS Sound app has now climbed to 11 hours. Oh dear, no wonder this video took so long. For reference, that puts it just slightly behind the demo of Super Smash Bros. So yeah, decent little shift that I've put in, I think. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the old like and subscribe and so on, because watching numbers go up will surely be a source of lasting fulfillment for me. Here's hoping. Alright, bye.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What other kind of stuff does he make? I mean, he kind of did present, like, what he made earlier. What else can Okay. Seems like he doesn't upload that often. Oh well, I guess we'll see where that goes. Okay, moving on here. Un momento. The end thing made me uncomfortable. I like that. I like that. That turned out pretty good. Okay. So, we have. So people are continuing the CD discourse. I don't know. Let's just see where this goes.
What if I told you that the cassette is back in 2025 and has been back for a while? What if I told you that the cassette is the most
Nah, I don't have a 3DS. I never had one. I had a PSP in that time period, and I didn't really play it very much. I've always been more of a computer guy. And then, like, if I'm not, I don't need anything portable. I don't leave the house.
important physical media format ever created? You would probably think I was crazy, and I would have said the same thing until I started digging into it and I started learning some very interesting things about the cassette tape. So you're going to want to watch this because this cassette story is bigger and weirder than
This guy looks a little bit like Walter White.
you think. They were supposed to be dead, but yet here we are. Against all odds and basic logic, the cassette is making a comeback in 2025. And to be fair, it's actually been going on for a while. We're going to break down what's really driving the comeback, whether cassettes are here to stay, and why history repeating itself is really important and actually really cool. So let's start.
Are CDs back though? Like, who's saying this? I feel like this is just like a narrative being pushed by some of these channels. And like, is there anything outside that to support that? You know, like, wait, hold on. CD, Sony's Insane Time to destroy its own format. Hold on. Didn't he do a video about this before? Or was it like a month or two ago? Wow, he does a lot of stuff about monitors and shit. He's got a monitor channel. What the fuck? That's a thing, apparently. Okay, CD collecting mistakes. I could have sworn it was this guy that had a thing about CDs. Audio file under 350. Oh god, I don't know if I like this channel very much. He's an audio file. Gross.
Start off with a little bit of history that you probably didn't know about. And it makes sense because it's totally ironic.
Oh man, 19 minutes. Ooh. Yeah, don't say that around a stupid person, bro. You say you're an audiophile around a stupid person, they're gonna think you're a pedophile.
So, the cassette was born 1963 by Philips. I don't know who the father was. And here's the kicker. It wasn't even designed for music. It was designed for dictation, for corporate needs. And I find that oddly ironic because Bluetooth was never intended for music transmission, just data transmission. So what's the moral of that story? Well, I guess if it's designed for corporate efficiency or some type of manufacturing, we're gonna shove Van Halen into it and then make people listen to it. Over the next
That sounds like torture.
8 years, Philips and Sony didn't give a crap about how bad it sounded, and Sony created the Walkman in 1979. And music is now personal, portable, fun, unless you're Sarah Connor's roommate. And in 1983, there was more cassettes sold than vinyl records, and that was a big turning point in the industry. 442.
I don't understand that. I don't know. I guess like cassette has a sound to it, but I don't know. I just feel like vinyl is like way more functional, you know? Yeah, I would just say I'm an audio guy. I don't think although I would never label myself as an audiophile either. I feel like those people are like incredibly pretentious. Cassettes were significantly cheaper. They are cheaper to make too. Like they're cheaper to make if you're making them as a band or whatever. Cassette is portable. Yeah, duh. I don't know. I guess I don't like really think about listening to music on the go like that.
2 million albums sold on cassette. Boomboxes.
CD is the best physical format by far. I don't know. I prefer vinyl, but vinyl is terrible. Cassette is okay. Why though? You gotta give reasoning.
Car stereos.
You'd be hard pressed to find a vinyl player in a car. Well, yeah, duh. I mean,
Knockoff Sony Walkmans were everywhere.
I feel like you're hard pressed to find a CD player in a car these days, even too. Vinyl's bad for the environment. Barely, though, right? I feel like there's much worse things for the environment happening that should be addressed. I don't know.
The best-selling cassette of all time. Wait for it. Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard soundtrack. That's so crazy. 17 million copies of that. By the early 80s, there were more cassette decks floating around than mullets, and there was a lot of mullets. So what's the takeaway? There were over 50 million devices that could play and record stuff to cassettes, and that laid the foundation for the largest grassroots organic music marketing.
I seen the video about vinyl being toxic. It's like toxic to people though, is it not? Like I don't think it's. I don't really care about that.
Machine the
Saw
world
it a
has
long
ever
time
seen.
ago, though.
And that all happened because some kid heard some band make some noise that he'd never heard before, and he wanted to share it with his buddy. And before the cassette, there was no media format that he could do that with. And now, for the first time ever, he could share it with his buddy. And that's where things got
That is one cool thing about cassettes. It's just the fact that anybody could like.
really interesting.
Oh, this is fucking gay.
Before cassettes, if you were going to make it as a band, you had to get radio play, you had to get articles written about you in Rolling Stone. But with these little things, tape trading became a thing, which really broke down the gatekeeping of the music.
Yeah, I mean records are stressful, but they're just cooler. I feel like they're just fucking cooler. I don't know. Like I can't even give you another reason other than just they're just fucking cooler. CDs are not fucking cool. Cassettes are kind of cool. Vinyl's the coolest one by far though.
Music industry, because now
Like if we're going aesthetic, vinyl's the coolest.
the only thing you needed was a demo tape and a buddy with a dual cassette player, a whole big stack of stamps, some envelopes, and you could send those things across the country and the world. Tape trading was really a thing in metal and punk and the underground. Slayer, Death, Sepultura, all of their fan bases was built organically through tape trading. And in pure ironic bliss, Lars Ulrich discovered some of his favorite bands through tape trading.
That
Metallica's
is crazy. Wait, that is crazy. Because he sued Napster, right? He sued Napster or did he sue people that utilize Napster? I can't remember anymore. One of those two.
No Life Till Leather was tape traded, and that's how they became big. Years later, Lars Ulrich
Yeah, I agree. Sound better is relative because, like, I really enjoy the sound of. So part of the reason why I fucking need to fundraise money on stream because I wasted. Well, I wouldn't call this waste, but I spent some money in Texas on some dumb. Well, not dumb shit. Relatively dumb shit though, like this, and I gotta say this sounds pretty fucking nuts because it's like it's a record you have to play on 45 RPM, even though it's like a 12-inch, and it sounds pretty fucking good. Like I actually think, I mean, and it's definitely subjective. It sounds different though than it does as digital. Good vinyl sounds less compressed, which always sounds better. Vinyl's expensive though, yeah, it is. Also got this too. I haven't played it yet. Probably got to smoke some weed before playing it. I don't know. I feel like this is like kind of a. You got to be in a certain. I mean, I've just heard it a lot. I don't know. Got to be in a certain mindset for this one.
would sue teenagers because they were trading digital downloads for free.
No,
It
that's
was the
different.
first music algorithm, and it was based on people's brains. So even though they sounded like garbage, it didn't matter. Something else very important happened during the tape trading days. Some kid, after dubbing 7 Anthrax bootlegs, shotgunning 7 Mountain Dews while watching a portion of Porky's, looked down and saw one of these laying on his floor, and he got an idea. And that
I just know the recipe of this. He's got to be making that up. There ain't no way.
idea accidentally started a cultural revolution.
They've taken the lead.
So what did that blank tape do laying on the floor? Did it start a political uprising? No. Did it create a new genre of music? No. It's
25, 12-inch, 45 RPM was the invention of the EP. I don't know. I don't know a lot about the history of that, but you know, it sounds different. It sounds good. Like it was like more detailed
sparked something far
than it would have otherwise if it was 30.
more dangerous. The mixed
It changed the density on the groove. Yeah, I did Google it, but I don't know right.
tape was the first step in countless awkward teenage mating rituals. Armed with nothing but bad timing and questionable taste. Teenagers collectively hit record and tried to win hearts with Peter Cetera, Peter Gabriel, and Pete Townsend sometimes when they were very confused. So even if you didn't win the heart of that girl after 12 mixtapes and that one restraining order with the new thing, you still made mixtapes for other things. Tape culture, mixtape culture was in the mainstream now. Hollywood was getting in on it. In 1989, it became absolutely iconic when Lloyd Dobler held a boombox above his head, blasting out some Peter Gabriel. And in 1985, Marty McFly terrorized his father after he went back in time with a mixtape called Van Halen and a Walkman to make his dad take his mom to a dance. Biff almost screwed it all up, but you can't fight the power of love. And speaking of Van Halen, this one company, they shipped more copies of 5150.
I want to try cutting a dub plate. That sounds fun.
Than Tower Records, Sam Goody, and Musicland combined. And simultaneously, they taught teenagers about reading the fine print when Pat Benatar and Richard Marx showed up at their house unannounced. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. If you've learned anything new, give this thing a thumbs up. Send it to a buddy. Thanks for watching.
On YouTube. It always just like ruins the version of the video.
You know this company because they introduced you to Debbie Gibson, Def Leppard, and Debt Collection, which was not a band. It was apparently a binding legal contract that 14-year-olds probably should not be allowed to enter into when they're wearing hypercolor t-shirts. It was that little company that had your dad busting into your room, and instead of saying, "What's that noise?" he says, "What is a Belinda Carlisle and why did I get a bill for $19.99? He didn't know what a Belinda Carlisle was. Millions of kids got taken advantage of with these. They were like cheaper versions of regular tapes. Remember when we were talking about tape trading being the OG algorithm? Well, Columbia Music was the OG corporate music algorithm. Just like Spotify, except it cost way more, you got way less music, and it involved stamps, a lot of stamps.
Yeah, I'm wondering where this goes.
Camp Low. The tape
Enemy trophy system.
Just like a
bunch of heavy hitters. Not only cheap stuff, but really high-end cassette decks, which I find incredibly interesting. And we're gonna get into it later because.
Okay, wait, hold on. This looks interesting here. How the seat.
What if I told you the Mona Lisa was destroyed in a fire and?
Fuck, I don't know if I can. This shit. It's not bad. It's just different. I don't know if it's the vibe right now. Okay, Av seems to not know what people are looking for in a visual EQ. Alright, let's see what this is here. Haven't watched Ab McCree in a long time. Wait, what's the like ratio looking like on this? Since somebody put it in my Discord, people must be upset.
60.
Oh, okay. Thought it was gonna be much worse than that. Okay. Av looking stressed these days, bro. He like hasn't been posting videos. I kind of feel bad. I mean, I don't think it's my fault, but God, these thumbnails though. It's not my fault. I may have contributed to it though a little bit. I would say the koala. I think it's his own fault, really. At the end of the day, I mean, just not being able to handle criticism or like fucking doubling down on shit. Like that whole koala fiasco, that was crazy. Totally unnecessary. And let's see what this is.
Before we even get into the educational smoke, I would like to point out.
Okay. First of all, this wife beater shirt he's wearing here, it looks like somebody ripped it. Like they ripped the neck portion of it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, throw that thing out. Throw that thing out. It's done. All right, it's done. Toss that shit out. It's time. Holy shit, yo.
Good morning,
Yo. Yo, thank you, Osama. Holy shit. Thank you, man. Appreciate that big time. Goated. Good morning, man. How you doing? All right, let's see what's going on with Ab, though. I hope he is doing better, man. He hasn't been posting. He hardly posts anymore. Like, and honestly, I don't really have any ill will against him. I'm pretty sure he fucking hates the shit out of me, though. Pretty sure he hates the shit out of me.
That everything that I'm going to talk about in this video works on every MPC the exact same way, 3.0, and the MPC that I'm using in this video is the MPC XSC because it has the biggest screen, and hey, I need to enjoy it more. Also,
I noticed he's been posting like NPC content only now, which is that's very, very niche. What'd you do to him, Weaver? Listen. I just called him out on his shit. That's basically all I've ever done is call him out on his shit. Like, it wasn't really... Hold on a second. Let me just show you here. Give you a little... Appreciate likes you. Really? Are you sure?
Week says this right here. People making something...
Like, bro, like, this was nuts, dude. Like, he probably had some, like, the biggest, like, disliked videos I've seen in the music production community. Like, it's pretty crazy. I'm just gonna start saying music production community, unironically. Damn, it's got 600k views, dude. That's nuts. I don't know, these, like, video essay type things do really well. Let's see, where was the other one? The Ben Jordan thing, where's that at? The Ben Jordan thing. That was like the first like crash out I seen from him before. What the fuck? This is freaky, dude. No. Dude, oh my god, dude. These thumbnails are insane. Dude, between this one and this one and this one. Holy shit. Like, this is actually hilarious, dude. This God Energy one, that's so insane. Use a search bar. Does he have Ben Jordan's name in it? Hold on, let's see. Use a search bar. I don't wanna. Here, let's see. Ben Jordan. Ben Jordan, one of the most unlikable creators. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Jordan.
Jordan. Bro, this is nuts. This is nuts, dude. This is nuts. I don't know, man. I probably would have disliked. I would have fucking taken down this video with this amount of dislikes here. Like, I think I have one video on my second channel where I was reacting to Snoop Dogg doing like he had like this like crypto music video with like this like shitty song, and I like reacted to it and I was making fun of it. It was pretty fucking funny, but his fan base did not think it was funny at all. Like, and I have like a similar like ratio on that video. I did take that down just because I was like, I don't want to see any more of these insane comments when I open up my second channel. Yeah, bro. Oh man, I don't know. He just gets himself into some drama and then he doesn't really like address it well. You know? I just feel like you gotta like take it more in stride. Like, you either gotta like, he just keeps doubling down. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to keep doubling down on shit. And then also he called out White Sea Studio for doing that Temu sponsorship after he did one, like right before that too. Like, it's just like hypocritical and shit.
So we have masterclasses at 16levels.com. I have it linked in the description. We're here for.
There's nothing wrong with him though. I'm not saying don't enjoy his content, but yeah, he definitely, I don't know, he gets himself in some drama sometimes and then doesn't know how to handle it properly. Like, I feel like if you're gonna get yourself in drama, you need to not give a shit, or you gotta know how to like properly navigate it, which can be not good sometimes.
the educational smoke. I did this video the other day. It's called "This MPC plugin will change your beat making forever," and the person left this comment right here.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about here, bro? This is exactly the kind of shit I'm talking about. Alright, so one guy left a comment, so I'm making a whole video talking about it now. You know, like, this is not what you do as a dog. This is not the kind of shit you should be doing. Like, if you want to say a bunch of people are talking about this, maybe that's better, but like one person commenting on something, I don't know, dude. You're like taking the bait. You're just proving you'll take any bait. Hold on a second. The smoke. The smoke is a single comment, you know what I mean? It's just not a good look. Like I said, dude, you just gotta realize that a lot of commenters are retarded. And like, when you look at it that way, I mean, sometimes they're right, sometimes people are just giving you feedback. You know, this doesn't even seem like a bad comment, actually. Can we get a video with you already? That's not even a bad comment, you know? So, I don't know. Some things are just not worth addressing, I guess what I'm saying.
It reads, "Can we get a visual EQ already?" I'm not tripping. I just noticed there's this.
Like, you know what I mean? The way that he addresses it here, the NPC needs a visual EQ. Like, he's doing that whole, like, mocking thing where you, like, poke someone and then you kind of, like, you're, like, mocking them by, like how fucking stupid they are. Like, you know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, sometimes this is funny, but I feel like sometimes when people do it, it comes off really bitter, you know? And I feel like this is an instance of that.
Energy of moving the goalposts. Like, people love moving the goalposts. Like, I remember.
Bro, you gotta understand that the goalpost is always on wheels, bro. That's why, like, having a debate with anyone, almost anyone. The idea of a goalpost will always be on wheels.
Like it was yesterday, it wasn't too long ago, where people wanted certain features from the Kai Force into the NPC, and that was gonna make them love the NPC.
Bro, that's why, yeah, I agree with that, Pale Horse. He might do something that's probably just went out. Bro, the right feeder's like ripped, bro. Like, that's crazy. I would've tossed that shit out. I don't care if I only got 4. If I only had 4 other shirts and I had this one also, I ain't wearing this one on camera.
You see war, and then more complaining came about. That's how I'm looking at this comment. Since this person is a subscriber on my channel, and yes, any.
This is like crash out type shit, bro. He's not yelling or anything, but this is some crash out type shit. Like, okay, I'm gonna go look through your other comments here. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done this. Like, I've looked at other people's comments, and I'm just like, what kind of person? I'm like getting the vibe. You're doing this, putting this fucking video on your channel, and then showing up.
Content creator can see if you're subscribed to the channel or not. So if you come in randomly with.
Down to a lot of families and stuff, and a crazy woman too. Who hasn't though, right?
Attack up. Requesting napalm strike on my mark.
Smoke, you can see people's comment history, and you know he said some things in the past, controversial or not.
Let's call it like it is. Handling celebration is bad. It's not even that bad. It's like fairly normal comment.
But he still watches, and I appreciate it. My question to you guys, do you want a visual EQ inside of the NPC? Will that make your beats sound better? Is that the solution to your beats not sounding real or whatever?
It's just something that's handy. You know what I mean? It's not even about the sound. You know what I mean? It can be handy sometimes.
Bring my spot.
Ghost, I'm trying not to be silly, but I apologize. The only thing is, what he said was very vague, you know, because he's saying visual EQ. What does that mean? Because it could be a great.
Yeah, I think we could just throw out the idea of a graphic equalizer, alright? What do you think this is, fucking 1974? Like, what do you mean, dude? But I think we can get rid of the idea of a graphic EQ. That's actually hilarious, inside of a graphic EQ.
Graphic EQ. It could mean a parametric EQ.
It probably means a parametric. 99.999%. He probably means a parametric EQ. I haven't even seen one of those in fucking 10 years.
Parametric EQs look all kinds of ways. That person could want a passive EQ.
I don't think they mean a passive EQ.
For when I type in visual EQs, about the same things pop up as for a parametric EQ. So I'm assuming that this person means a parametric EQ. A few years ago, we had a discussion with Andy Mack on...
Andy Mack looks like a fucking... You know, if there was like maybe like a male... Okay, this is really... If there was like a male blow-up doll, but like a version... Like an... But a version that doesn't really look like that much of a Chad. Like, you know what I mean? Like instead of like getting like a high top tier Chad, you want like a lower, like someone trying to, you know what I mean? Like lower your standards, kind of. He just looks like a blow up doll. Like he's had like work done. Like he's like got way too much like gel in his hair. Like, I don't know, bro. He's got like fucking what are those called? Veneers? Look like veneers or something. Yeah, or his teeth are like insanely white.
On my IG channel, I used to do interviews and stuff like that, but the question of visual EQ was popped up then. So he's definitely heard it. He responded and he said, yes, he agreed. My question to my audience, did you already know that the MPC has EQs inside of it? The MPC, no matter if you're in 2.0 or 3.0, has plenty of EQs. So if you touch this right here, it gives us access to the track effects rack and the master effects rack. You will have to go to the effects tab in 3.0. That's all that matters right now. We're talking about 3.0.
I really just told you guys know what a visual EQ is.
You can
Okay, yeah, he's gonna show us the different EQs.
So if you touch this right here, it gives us access to the track effects rack and the master effects rack. You will have to go to the effects tab in 3.0. That's all that matters right now. We're talking about 3.0. So we hit the plus sign right over here, and then that gives you all your available effects. You will see EQ filter right here. You have Kill EQ, which looks like this, and it gives you 3 bands to work with. You can do kills. It will kill the audio of that particular sound. Also, if you want to delete the effect, boom. You just hit the trash can icon. The next one, Air Parametric EQ. And we have high, mid, low, low. We have Parametric EQ, 2 bands, 2 shells. You know what the funny thing is about this? You know, in that particular video is Low Fly Dirt. Guess what? They have a visual EQ too. It's called multi-band filter bank. And believe it or not,
that's not a, okay, that's, you can see the spectrum. That's what you're seeing here. You're seeing the spectrum.
and filter bank. And believe it or not, they gave it away for free during the holiday season. It works on Windows, Mac, and yes, the MPC itself.
Never mind, I was gonna say
Mac, and yes, the MPC itself. For those who are familiar with something like Maximus inside of FL Studio,
Crush those dirtbags.
Okay.
this is activation. Make sure that you have
paraplegic EQ.
logged in, and then put in a serial number. Also, it will help
That's a good one.
if people will put in their Wi-Fi, okay? So make sure that you put your Wi-Fi in, okay? Other than that,
God damn, I love the game.
Wait, hold on.
and then put in a serial number. Also, it will help if people will put in their Wi-Fi.
This is why it pays to know how to edit well, guys. It'll keep you from having to pay for things. I don't know, I shouldn't do this. But he kind of did it himself. Okay, I don't want to go frame by frame. My point is, like, you should fucking just blur that shit. Just blur that shit or cut it out.
Other than that, hit the plus sign on your track effects or the master, wherever you want to put it. After you have done that, you will see Air Multi-Band Filter Bank. And guess what? The thing about this is it is a visual EQ, but with a whole lot more benefits. And I already know where the goalpost is going to be.
thing is, like, this isn't moving the goalpost. This is just not. This is not a visual EQ.
Move next. They're like, oh well, it says multi-band filter bank. That doesn't mean graphic EQ or anything like that. Let me just put you on to something real quick. Hold on. Let me go ahead and go down. Let's focus right here. We're gonna use air kill EQ. It's gonna filter out certain frequencies. So this is what we have so far. I'm gonna turn off low. See how that's filtered out? This is EQ. That's what EQs do, they filter. Maybe I should explain that first. And if I kill all of the bands that are available in air kill EQ,
Wait, what does this have to do with it?
I have filtered out all of the sound. Now you can play with that any way that you want. This EQ is useful for sampling, very useful. To further prove the point that it's a visual EQ, one of which you can judge all the frequencies in a visual form and acting like a spectral analyzer, I will put this on the master track.
Okay, I'm just kind of confused why. I just want to see his filter bank.
We'll
thing.
open it up, play the track, and as you can see, you can visually understand what you are mixing. You can select multiple bands. If I wanted to switch.
Okay, wait. A filter. Okay, an EQ can filter, but a filter is not an EQ. Does that make sense? Like, you can't do with a filter. You cannot do what an EQ does, unless like this does something that I'm not seeing here. I just see cutoff and resonance.
The high band frequency, I can sweep it right here on the screen. Of course, I can use the data wheel.
Beats cool.
Let's get a little bit more volume.
Like an EQ can filter, but a filter can't EQ.
So that's just a high band. I'm using cutoff right there. If I wanted to count the mids.
So like kinda, like what he's doing kinda is what they're looking for, but not really.
I can do that.
So bro, this is just not what people were asking for.
It's simply this.
Oh my god, working with this EQ. I mean, you mean working with these filters?
Now, I don't necessarily use it on the master, but I can go ahead and just delete it, and we'll go right into these drums right over here. They're also made by MX6 Audio in this track.
The
so
mic's a little low. That should be all right. Maybe a little higher.
What we're gonna do is mess with this snare right here. We don't have.
Okay, I think we get it. Yeah, one of the top comments here, bro. Some of your points are definitely valid here, but this plugin only shows the signal pre-effect. None of your changes in the plugin are accurately represented visually post-effect. Yeah, they mean an EQ like FabFilter's Pro Q. Exactly. That's exactly. Like, it's not really that complicated. That's the problem. That's one problem with Av. He's, like, wrong a lot of the time, too, and he won't, like, you know, accept it, you know. Yeah, people are. Yeah, I mean, like something like FabFilter Pro Q4, exactly. Okay, like we got our juice out of that. Let's see. No, we're not watching Busy's Av. Okay, what is this here? What the hell, dude? Guys, what's going on here? Something. What is this? Splice by Spitfire Audio, massive industry shakeup. All right, let's look at someone else's take on this.
Dear fellow musicians, there's big news.
Just a reminder, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you have not. I know we're breaking the immersion right now. If you want to take that support a bit further, consider donating via the Stream Elements link in the description. You got a lot of taxes to pay. I owe them like thousands of dollars. No, I did skate in a dress. What are you talking about? I kept to my word. I just didn't upload it. It was on Twitch. I think there might even be clips of it on Twitch still, if you look. But yeah, all support is appreciated. I owe thousands of dollars in taxes. Not excited about it. Not excited about it.
News from the industry.
Wow, they turned this into an 11-minute video? How?
Splice has just purchased Spitfire Audio.
Oh yeah, somebody was talking about like me I don't know if people were serious about it, but reacting to Busyworks Beats 10-hour course, bro. I don't know, that could be arranged, but I need a lot for that. I need a lot of money for that. That's a lot. You're asking a lot.
Yes, that's correct. The legendary orchestral sample library produces.
This guy's got a lot of shit going on his desk. I'm more interested in that right now. Let's see, we got a little banana. We got looks like a Swiffer. What the hell is that? It's like a fucking styrofoam snow globe or something. Yeah, this guy's studio is crazy. What the? There's no monitors. He needs to be in Rate Your Studio, I think. He's got a book on his.
Okay, not that much. Move it back. A little bit more. That's good. That's good.
Lauren, the chat wants the music. Chris
What?
called me to tell you that chat wants music. I don't know if it's
What music?
Is it the Ye one or is it the Ye one or is it the?
It's probably the Ye one.
It's probably the Ye one, bro.
Oh. Well, I mean, bro, I didn't have time to do all that music transition shit. I just came right on live.
We got 27 people live. 27
Chris,
people
do you
live.
understand what music that is?
Bro, this nigga Chris, bro, where's Chris at? He already went home.
Hold on.
This nigga called me from home.
Hold on, Chris, do you understand what music that is?
This is crazy, bro.
Witness remaining, called to the dais, Alex Stein.
Get some water. Is my mic on? Last time I didn't have it on. You guys are crazy. Y'all never turn it on. I got Selvina, got the camera out. I'm Primetime 99. So I sued y'all, and you guys are auto-settling because you guys don't believe in free speech, and I'm a pimp on a blimp. And I want to say, I love New York. This Pride Month has been so great. I've had so much anal sex. Like last night at that parade, I learned this new song. You ready? Jizz on my face, jizz on my face. I need that jizz post haste. Stick that dick deep in my shit. I want it in my poopy zone. I want to be a poopy clone. I love poop and gay sex. Pride Month is the very best. That's why I stick it deep in your butt. Yes, that blood's not from. I love Pride. I love it so much. So I learned that song last night at Pride. My girl AOC was there. AOC, I miss you, baby. I'm sorry. Please unblock me. I want to talk to you on Twitter. And also, Oswald, I had some anal last night you would be jealous of. And I know you guys are all homosexuals because everybody in the city's a homosexual. And I love it. When the guys, they whip out their things and they slap it all on my face, it brings me back to the locker room. The locker room with Leah Thomas, my favorite pro athlete. Leah Thomas, I'm swimming for you. I'm swimming for the marginalized. I'm swimming for the...
I can't remember the guy's name. It's been years. Christian Henson. Okay. Here. Co-founder Christian Henson leaves Spitfire following transphobia row. What? So he stated he fully supported J.K. Rowling and Graham Linehan on social media. I kind of just don't give a shit, dude. I just kind of don't give a shit. I don't know. Like, I'm not transphobic, but I'm also like not a person that cares enough about this kind of shit. You know, like, okay, like he said, it was a little weird for him to do it on like instead of like
These niggas really fake, they live a facade.
I got a lot of money like I'm doing fraud. I can't step on the brakes, I'm going fast from cops. I know what niggas hate, these in my watch. I hate these niggas, yeah they really suck. I'm ballin' on these niggas like I play for the Bucks. Man, I hate that bitch, she don't wanna fuck. Yeah, I hit on mom and I fucked her butt. I'm running up some pounds, we gon' sacrifice them. We gon' hunt them down, I'm counting up them rats. I just landed on the plane, I just touched down. And I'm pimpin' on the slut, I got money now. Yeah, I caught the blood, then we got on for his chain. I just hit the store, and I bought a designer frames. Yeah, my car is hot, so I had to switch the paint. I'm feeling really slow, I got chips and some I drink. These niggas really fake, they live a facade. I got a lot of money like I'm doing fraud. I can't step on the brakes, I'm going fast from cops. I know what niggas hate, these in my watch. I hate these niggas, yeah they really suck. I'm ballin' on these niggas like I play for the Bucks. Man, I hate that bitch, she don't wanna fuck. Yeah, I hit on mom and I fucked her butt.
Team deathmatch. Engagement windows open. Go, go, go! We've taken the lead. Stay on task. We've given up the lead. Now hold it.
Engaging. Foot patrol. Semtex thrown. Shot's good. Incoming frag.
We're winning. Keep it that way.
Tally shotgun.
TACOM requesting recon overhead.
Trophy system. Eyes on enemy. Gotcha.
TACOM, Ray requesting CUAV.
Using scout pulse. Incoming. Shock charge identified. Incoming drill charge. Enemy grenade. Single shot. Sharpshooter. Long guns frag. Duck, long gun. Enemy trophy system. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Hostile trophy destroyed. Watch out, grenade! Enemy using shock charge. Move in! Shock charge identified.
You're falling behind, Crimson.
Tango on the move.
The lead is ours.
Stun incoming. Throwing Semtex. Enemy inside.
We've given up the lead.
Establishing smoke. Enemy grenade. System neutralized.
Your tactics aren't working. Find another way.
Enemy dispatch.
Hostile RCXD in your AO. Underwhelming effort.
That's what you get for singing. I think that was singing. So are you like a marshmallow and a laxative mixed together? That's what. Take up.
How would do I? What is
Look
it?
at his name. Look at his name. Marshall Lax.
Ah.
Sounds like a marshmallow laxative.
That was a little better. How did I come second, bro? That makes no sense.
Because I'm better than you.
I'm okay.
Founder.
To be really powerful, and people are going to be very excited about it. And then, maybe most important is what we can build together.
another man's kingdom. It's beyond the mind, brother. They actually using weapons. They're actually using weapons to kill and to destroy. No, brother, it's weapons, all kinds of weapons. My point is this. Black man, you got to get ready. You got to, the scripture saying, lay up your fallow ground. Lay it up. Because your fallow ground is destroying you in Washington, D.C., black man. You're supposed to be running this city, man.
This reminds me of those YouTube videos you watch late night where no one's talking. And you didn't see them flipping the stuff. It looks so therapeutic. I'm ruining it for you, ain't I? You gotta hear the noise. Click, 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 cling, cling, cling. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Not bad. Ooh.
You know,
changing and they're being reinvented.
like they're just beating around the bush to like the highest extent and being awkward as hell, and it's making it very, very weird and suspicious. Like this is like a huge red flag to me. That there's definitely, I don't know, man. I don't really like. I didn't really have a good.
Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, grab your coffee. These are the latest news in the comments. All right, pop and start with something acoustic and then modern control. After this process, you have needs to ensure that it's right for my ears. The TVS Pro, everything's announced. But yeah, you got this one. It's a nice free update. And if you've been on the fence, this kind of update shows that Polyend is still of instruments, controller, mix control, but if you need some sub bass, I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that will probably answer any questions.
It looked like they done did a robbery in like a store, like a smash and grab. They done went in there, grabbed stuff, and running out the store. It could be a robbery. Who knows? Because the police approached them with guns. But this is the point of the video. It's a bunch of young guys did a robbery in the store and ran out the store. They left their homie. They rode off on him. They hopped inside the whip, rode off on him, and left him there to be arrested by the police. Hit the like button. Goal on this video, 1,000 likes. You gotta be careful choosing your friends, because to be honest with you, anybody do you like that ain't really your friend. And to be honest with you,